Hey, loves, how are you? Hope you're having a beautiful day at day 15 of the Higher Self series. I almost said Inner Union series because, on so many levels, it is part of that inner union energy. You know what I mean? So it's very fascinating. But today, I actually feel guided to talk to you about what I've been feeling in the energetics of the past like 24 hours because I'm curious. For me, it feels like there's been a huge like timeline shift, trajectory shift, and there's this energy of a very deep, strong surrender, but at the same time flowing into a very stable energy. And so to me, this is signifying that many in the collective have really stepped into or are moving into a very beautiful energy, a balance of surrender and stability. And this, of course, if you watched my Inner Union series, really connected to the feminine, divine feminine surrender and the divine masculine stability. But as we're working with these energies within ourself, it also correlates and strengthens our ability to navigate and bring in the energies of our higher self, while also stabilizing those into our physical body, onto the earth, and into our day to day life. And it's where these energies intersect internally that we really strengthen our ability to co create the life that we came here to live with our highest power, with our highest source. And so, as we're learning to work with all of these parts of ourself, which, it's interesting because they always have been us. The thing is when we came into physicality, even if we remembered as little kids, as we were learning how to survive on this planet, a lot of these things were kind of like shut down, frozen out, or really, it's almost like, how the screen just goes on pause, like quiet mode, dark mode. It's like these parts of us just went into almost like a hibernation until it was time to begin to unfurl and unfold these energies. And I'm just sensing that enough of us have done this or aligned with it, that there's a bigger general collective planetary shift that's currently occurring. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I can just feel it in the energetics. I'm curious if you guys have been feeling it. I also, the other day when I spoke about waking up very warm, I also had a few nights where I was experiencing almost like nightmare type of energies and waking up warm, and just processing a bunch of emotion. But it felt like these energies or karmic patterns or old energies were processing out of our bodies at a cellular level in a deeper way. Also, what I've been noticing, I'm curious if you guys have been noticing it, the stronger and healthier our physical bodies become, the easier it's been becoming to process the emotions. So it's like as our physical bodies are gaining stability and strength in the physical world, it has a better and stronger capacity to hold um, the mastery of the emotions, the extremes of the emotions in a tempered way, and also allowing us to bring in those higher self, spiritual, soul, contracted essences into physical form in our bodies. So it's such a dance of all of these parts of ourself in nurturing and caring for all of the parts of ourself, right? Our physical, emotional, spiritual health, our financial well-being, our relationship well-being, our purpose and our calling and our mission, and what lights us up and how we care for ourselves, and also take our natural nature and our natural born abilities that we're good at and that we love doing, and finding a way to share those out in the world. So this whole entire series, and really my intent on this channel is to support those essences and energies in whatever way they feel right to you. Like I've said again, I think if we're willing to align with the truth and no longer spiritually bypass, and we're open to seeing things for all the layers that they are, it gives us the capacity to actually show up in the present in a more embodied way. Okay, so we can understand things intellectually and even spiritually, but actually embodying them and living them in our day-to-day life is very powerful and also very fulfilling. But it definitely takes some courage to do in a world where dissociation and avoidance has become more acceptable than actually facing the truth. And so I want to give you guys props and kudos for being willing to do these things in a world where it hasn't been what has been supported in the overall energies. I do believe this is shifting, albeit it's a slower process, I think, than most of us had hoped for. But at the same time, we're like pioneering these energies within ourselves and within our life. And this is allowing us to bring the dance of all of these things together as we're building community and connection and safe spaces to be our full, true, authentic selves, which is bringing me to a very, I think, powerful energy in the sense that releasing our fears to what other people think about us, finding those ways of self-validating and caring for ourselves and building self-trust, right? Showing up for ourselves and being who we are in kind way, but and also an assertive and authentic way without just standing in our truth, without needing anyone to validate us, but also allowing them to have their experiences and their truth, and just being comfortable in those differences is a very powerful space to be in. And what this does is allow you or us to be more and more comfortable in our authenticity of all of who we are, all of our aspects, all of our attributes, right? And as we value ourselves for all of who we are, and we show up in those authentic ways, it's really gorgeous because it becomes your natural truth and it becomes your natural protection. It will actually show you and guide you in knowing what connections, relationships, experiences, jobs, all of those things will start to reveal what's actually in alignment with you and what's making the most sense for who you are now as you're growing into all of those things. And I'm not sure why, but I feel guided to touch on something that was really powerful for me. I did speak about it in the inner union message where I talked about the vanishing twin energy. And I want to speak about it because it was something that was very powerful for me that's been really life-changing in my ability to actually receive the results of the work I've been doing, but also really helped me to embody more of who I am. And what the vanishing twin energy is like when you're in utero, your mom may have had, this isn't for everybody, but for me, what happened is I had other siblings in utero with me when I was an embryo. Okay. And my mom didn't know this. This wasn't something I knew. At an energetic level, as I got older, I wondered if I had a twin in there with me, just based on some things I had seen in meditation. But as I've gone on this journey, and wanting to unravel codependent energies, I came upon the information and it resonated with me because of some health issues or um, nervous system things that I was experiencing. And come to find out in the energetics, I did actually have multiple vanishing twins with me. And since I've unraveled and put those energies and honored my twins in their own place, it's giving me an incredible amount of space to actually get to know myself. And I'm sharing it, I think, because it kind of coincides with these divine counterpart connections in that it's what inspired me to want to unravel the distortion and the confusion in my system, which was where I happenstance around this vanishing twin concept, which has been incredibly powerful and helpful to my own ability to be able to have healthy boundaries for myself. And like I said, actually receive the results of the work that I've been doing. Like before that, I understood the concepts of codependency and unraveling it, and I was learning it and I was enacting it, but there was some areas where I was just still struggling no matter how hard I tried. But after the vanishing twin work, it became a lot easier and clearer for me to discern what was mine and what wasn't. And so it's some very powerful work. I do actually do this in sessions. It's in my advanced soul session and the soul retrieval session. If any of you are interested in that, I didn't actually even know I was going to talk about this. So clearly, there may be something some of you may have been working on and just feeling like you're hitting these blind spots or these pockets where you're just not able to move as quickly as you'd hoped, or you're just not receiving results in the same manner of effort that you're putting in. There tends to be a very big energy of over giving to others, or also feeling like you're not receiving the reciprocity in return. Um, Sometimes like autoimmune issues or like PTSD, nervous system issues. And I'm not saying that those are only related to vanishing twin, but they are some of the indicators that it's a potential. All right, loves. So I guess that was just a little side note that your higher self wanted you to be aware of in case. And even if it's not for you, maybe you'll have that awareness for other people around you. Like if you're knowing people and they're trying to heal and trying to get better and things just aren't progressing at a level or a way that seems appropriate, it may be an area for them to look into. All right. Okay. I do feel guided just to see around these energies of what I spoke about with these shifts happening. I just want to see what we can know or be aware of to support us, tapping into our higher self energy, our human energy, our inner masculine and feminine, our stability and our surrender, paying attention to what is our energy and what might not be, what's authentic to us, what's our natural nature. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is very fascinating. I got falling angel spiritual narcolepsy. I don't even know if I've ever seen this, but remember when I said the spiritual bypassing? It's kind of bringing this energy to me. On another note, the energy that's coming through is also where sometimes we can get really deep into our spiritual and healing energies and have this tendency to maybe avoid the physical world, or I don't know, there's something coming up with this. Let's see. It's interesting because it's reading different to me. Oh, look at that. The Seven of Cups that we received the other day. Okay. Okay. So now this is interesting because it's coming through as like a collective energy now. Like where maybe the general collective has been in the form of a spiritual like narcolepsy or sleeping, like where there's been some dissociation or bypassing, and you see the clouds. And here we spoke about this the other day, like having the clouds starting to clear, and like humanity in general choosing the highest timeline, which is what is coming through. I know this whole message today might seem a little bit random, the things that are coming out, but I genuinely have to trust that it's somehow meant for whoever's going to watch this, and you're going to take whatever makes sense for you. It's kind of coming in too, like maybe this is how it feels like it interweaves to the vanishing twin energy, is that if you're attempting to bring in your spiritual energy and you're asking for that guidance and you're still feeling confusion, like I said, that's what was happening to me. Like I knew what I wanted, but as I was trying to do it and manifest it, there was always like this confusion energy. But since I've worked with my vanishing twins, it's become a lot clearer. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily have to exactly be that energy, but now I see how it's connecting. So if you're still feeling cloudy, even after asking to align with your highest timeline, it's not necessarily because you're doing anything wrong. You can just ask, okay, I want my highest timeline, but what if there's something in the way of that that I'm not aware of yet? Please guide me to where I'm meant to be. That's exactly what I did. Now that I think about it, I knew that at that point, I still had trauma in my system that I needed to process. But I could also tell that I didn't have the level of tools available to me in that moment that I needed to be able to take on that level of transformation that I was about to go through. And so I began deeply praying for the support to show me and guide me to the modalities, the people, the concepts, whatever information I needed to get me where I wanted to go. And I surrendered to that, and it started to come in. One, I started to get some personal guidance on how to dissolve and unravel in a way that I had never seen. And then I was also introduced to some other work that was highly supportive in this process, which was about a deeper level of unraveling and dissolving. And I worked with a gentleman who had been working deeply with himself, which highly supported my process to not only start to work deeper on my system, but also I was learning from him in this process. And so things started to get clearer and clearer and clearer. So even if you can't see the solutions right now, all you have to do is pray and ask. Set your intention of what you want. I want my highest potential. I want my highest timeline. I might not be able to see how I'm going to get there. Okay. But I trust that there is a solution because I'm a believer, a big, big believer that there's always a solution if we're willing to look, if we're willing to take the time to do the work and to drop into the process of actually allowing ourselves to receive and embody the solution. Okay. So I feel like generally on multiple levels, I'm feeling like the planetary collective of Earth energetically maybe truly beginning to come out of this spiritual narcolepsy at a deeper level and starting to see clearer what choices they want to make for themselves. And then again, here with this collective, you guys have already been leading the way with these energies and working with them. But I can tell, we're all still mastering or working with these energies and learning how to embody them. So when you feel cloudy or you feel uncertain or there's something you're not sure about, you can start to ask for the solutions for the things you're wanting to transform. Okay. I want to get one more with that Seven of Cups. So, as the collective or individuals are making these decisions and asking for that higher guidance, is there anything that would like to come through to support that process at a deeper level? Oh, love it. This card to me, strength. It's so much that embodiment of the masculine and the feminine and the higher self and the physical world. And the passionate and the peaceful, right? This very integrated, calibrated energy. So, whatever you're working with, whatever you are wanting and hoping to receive answers for, think about the elements of what will help it become both strong and stable within your life and within your body. And then also practicing the surrender into knowing that your higher power, your higher guidance, your higher self actually does have solutions for you and what you are wanting to create if you're willing to relax and surrender into allowing that higher guidance to clear the clouds, bring some clarity, and help you start to take those steps along your path. All right, loves. I hope this was helpful. As always, I would absolutely love to hear from you. I know this was a little bit different of a style today, but I have to run with what comes through. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 16. Love you. Bye.